Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am filming my favorites for April. Woohoo! We have now finished another month of this year somehow, and it's time to talk about things I enjoyed in April. April was a weird month because like in the beginning of month I had like a lot of free time because the work was closed. At least like the first 2 weeks of April they were closed, so I feel like those days went past super fast, and then the last weeks of April was like super slow. So that was weird. Did some reading spins on my channel for the first time, for example. I feel like I talked about that way too much here now, but whatever. And I haven't done any since because I'm so busy suddenly. But yeah, maybe in summer it will be more time for stuff. But yeah, that was a fun new thing that happened. And then I of course did school, sadly. When I started work again, I was like, wow, this is so weird, but it was nice because I need money. I watched stuff, of course. I was at Erica's when like my work was closed for ages, and we watch stuff. Not as much stuff I think that we usually do. Sometimes we watch a lot, but I think we watch like decent amount, but not like a lot like we usually do. And among those things we watched Love and Monsters, which is like a new Netflix movie with Dylan O'Brien, and it was really funny because I just saw the commercial like on Netflix and I was like, okay, let's watch it because it's Dylan O'Brien, yo. And apparently it's like based upon an actual comic, and now I kind of want to read it because it seems kind of fun. But it's basically like post-apocalyptic setting where like monsters have taken over like a lot of the population. The human population died. A lot of the animals and plants and etc. they just became like huge versions of like themselves, or like not even themselves, they're just like literally formed into new beings, gigantic beings that could eat humans. And Dylan O'Brien's character, that I of course can't remember the name of, he like had a girlfriend, and then like he's really lonely for where he is, and then he decides to go out in nature, even though like it's like really scary. Like he freezes when he's afraid. He's gonna find his girlfriend because he knows that she's in this other camp, and then he goes out into the world. And that's maybe like something you've seen before, and like yes, it has like some tropes, but somehow this worked really well. They kind of knew really well what they were doing, so like they took the things that could play on your emotions and make you care about the characters a lot and make you really like emotionally attached to them, which made like the story very interesting because you wanted them all to be okay. It just worked really well, and I was just thinking that it was gonna be like a bit shitty. I don't know, I didn't really have that high expectations, but literally Erica and I, we just sat there like glued to the screen because it was so interesting. We had so much fun. It was funny and heartwarming and just like perfect balance of like all the things you would want in this kind of movie, and I was very impressed. Like of everything was done really well. So I really recommend this if you like these kinds of movies, if you were wanting to watch it because of Dylan O'Brien. I don't even know, like I was really pleasantly surprised of this. So this came in my favorites because like it was really fun movie, and I want a sequel now. I just really like that these kinds of concepts can go like in different directions, where it's like you get like a weird feeling like what the heck is going on, like you don't really like it. But this one just like worked so well. Like it had all the things you would want to care for, and it was just very sweet. Okay, so yay for this movie. I'm just gonna talk about both movies first, and then we're gonna of course talk about the TV show that you would know would be here from the thumbnail, but also just like from being in the book world lately. But yeah, another movie I watched in the end of the month was The Others with, isn't it Nicole Kidman? I don't even remember. I need to check that actually. It is. And this one is like a horror movie, and it's quite like old, I guess, like from the early 2000s. I mean, that made me feel old, but yeah, I have of course heard about this. I feel like my sister watched it once when I was there, but I haven't really like watched it. But like it's like one of the early ones that has like inspired and etc. many movies and horror movies that's come later. And I have of course, as I said, heard about it. Basically it's about this woman in this house taking care of her kids, and like the kids can't go out in daylight, so they always have to, for example, close the curtains. And then these 3 people shows up at the door, and they are like the new caretakers, housekeepers, etc. And then like there's others in the house, like doors keeps closing, etc. And you're like, what the heck? But it's just very interesting. I get goosebumps talking about it. Like yes, it's old, but like that doesn't really matter. I just thought that like yes, it had like tropes, and yes, we did figure out like what was going on because we watched quite a couple of horror movies. But I think like we watched the later ones, and this is like a sample like for the early ones. if I am not incorrect. It was still just so intriguing, like I could not stop watching the screen. I say that as a thing because sometimes if things are boring, I like can be scrolling on my phone while watching or like doing other stuff. That sounds like I'm not watching it, but I am. Sometimes I like to like watch things that are like chill and then I don't really think and then like I just chill on like my phone at the same time, for example, or like I do journaling and stuff. But like in like the others and also the other ones I just talked about, I just couldn't look away from the screen because I wanted to like capture every single moment like thoroughly, and this one like kept me like very intrigued of all the different scenes, and I really liked how it all come together in the end. I guessed it, but it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Like that doesn't really matter. Like it was just a lot of suspense. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say like scary, like I didn't sit there screaming and feeling like super scared and like oh my god, like it wasn't that. It was just creepy and eerie and exactly what I wanted, and yeah, it was really fun watching it. So I'm glad I watched like, I guess like an older movie, I would say. I feel like it was weird to call it old, but I guess it's old now in the film world because it moves so fast. But yeah, so that was really enjoyable. And then of course I watched Shadow and Bone. I watched it all in one day at Erica's place. It was a ride. Shadow and Bone is, if you don't know, a new Netflix original. It has 8 episodes and it's based on the Grisha Wars books by Lee Bardugo. More specifically the plot of the first book, but it has character from the later books. I don't know how you would have missed this, but yeah. Of course I've been excited. Like I love Grisha Wars and I was so excited to see the story come to life. And it was great. Like I had such a good time. Like sometimes adaptations, like we don't really trust them anymore, I feel like, at least like as book readers, because it can become shit very easily for like different reasons. But it wasn't shit. It was really, really, really fun and I had such a good time. Like I have some like small things. There's like small things that's like, did this make sense, kinda? I don't know how to describe it, but like those things didn't really matter. And it's like overall the feeling and like seeing the characters come to life and seeing the story come to life and how it was so accurate to the book but also had its own, I would say, glowy parts. I don't even know how to speak. I watched it with Erica and she has only read Shadow and Bone. She hasn't read Six of Crows, so it was really interesting to see her like react to Cass, Inej and Jesper, and then it was just fun for her to see. I don't know how to describe it, but like I love the Grisha Wars, but I do think like the first trilogy is good. I really enjoy it, but I do think that like, I don't know, like the plot isn't the strongest. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's very straightforward, and I think like the plot twist in the first book is like, what's it called, like it's shown in a really weird way, and they did keep like everything really accurate to the book in the show, but it was kind of just more fun watching it than like maybe reading it. I don't know how to describe it. Like it just made it so fun. Like I enjoy it a lot, but like I can criticize things I enjoy, by the way, like the book. I just love the characters and Ben Barnes. I love him so much. I just think everyone did such a good job, and you just feel like they really cared about what they were making. And I'm very excited for season 2 that better come, because like I think we will go into the plot of Caesar Corsa. That's what it seems like. So they're doing that a bit earlier. I think it fits really well. And we need Nikolai. And overall, I just amazing. Okay, so I watched it. When I watched it, I could probably like do a full video review talking about all the like details and stuff. I didn't do that, and here we are mentioning it in my favorites. I have been planning to rewatch it since I watched it, but like I haven't had time because I need to do so many things. But I would definitely like rewatch it soon. I'm planning to at least rewatch it like 2 or 3 times this year. Like I'm gonna just watch this over and over and just appreciate everything. Yeah, I recommend it a lot. As a book adaptation, it was just so great. So just my heart, okay, my heart. Done with all the things I watched. That was like the 2 things I enjoyed a lot, and other things that were like rewatches almost. I just rewatch all the things I love all the time. It's like what I do. And now for the things I read. Did I just say that? I don't even know. I do know what my favorites are. I'm not gonna mention rereads because I read Mistborn in April, but like I'm not gonna mention them because they're rereads. So I have the pile of books beside me, that all the books I read in April, and the one I want to talk about is in the bottom. Why did I do this to myself? I read 22 books in April, I didn't say so. And of course you will hear my thoughts on all of them in my wrap up, and I would just need to pile out. Come on. My first favorite for April, and I better read this with Pris, was of course A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. I wasn't planning to read this month, but then Pris was like, I'm reading this series. Oh, both of us haven't read the last book. Let's buddy read it. And I was like, sure. And then my voice died. And then we decided to buddy read it. And then I read it. So it was like my first read for the month. It wasn't even like planned. It just happened. And I'm not complaining. Finishing off this series, which has been my favorite so long, was amazing. This is the 4th book in Emma and Ashes. I didn't even say. And it follows Laia, who is a scholar, and they are like being basically, I was gonna say, pooped on and enslaved by like the Empire. And then her grandfather gets killed, her brother's put in prison, and she wants to free him from prison. And then she has to work for the rebellion and spy for them. And then she has to spy on the commandant, who is like the leader of like the martial army. It's really dangerous for her, obviously. And then we have Elias, who is like a mask, who is like the elite soldier in like the army, and he doesn't want to be a mask and wants to run away. And these two paths connect. And then we have also another main character, which is not a POV until the 3rd book in the series. And it's so good. I would never have words how much these characters, I'm getting goosebumps, means to me, how much like this world and like the plot twist and like my heart and how it's written. I'm getting goosebumps so much, or like down to my legs thinking about this book. We knew that Saba was gonna destroy us in this, and she did thoroughly. I wanted to scream while reading it, but it was just so good. Like, I was scared, like, endings are hard, but she nailed it. And of course 5 stars, because what else? Of course a favorite, because how could it not be? But yeah, it was literally just everything. And I can't of course talk much about this without spoiling the rest of the series, but it was amazing. I recommend the whole quartet with all my heart. So if you have been hesitant to pick it up, I don't understand what you're waiting for. They are all just so good. I don't understand how you could be just so solid throughout the whole series, and I'm just so incredibly excited for anything Saba writes next. Like, I'm there, no matter what it is. I'm there. And for another book that I absolutely adored, and speaking about the Grisha-verse, we have Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo. This is the 2nd book in the Nikolai duology, or King of Scars duology, or whatever we are calling it, which is like the series after Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows. It's like another duology. And I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed of Scars. I personally really enjoyed it, but I can see that we had certain expectations going into it because it was promoted in a certain way. But now we knew, I knew what to expect for this. What I expected was not what I got, because it was even greater. Like, I love all the books in the Grisha-verse, but I will admit I had never given any of them, I'm looking over them, that's why I keep looking there, I have not given any of them 5 stars. I don't know why. Like, I can love a book without giving it 5 stars, but I need to have like a certain feeling to give it 5 stars. This is the first book in the Grisha-verse I give 5 stars, no hesitation, because it made me feel so many things. So many things came together, and like the characters and just like the plot twist. I'm getting goosebumps. I need to stop saying that, but like that means just like thinking about it makes me so emotional. Just all the characters here, where they ended up, just the development in the world, and just like the plot twist. Was it even plot twist? My brain can't even remember. It was just so intense and good. And if Shadow and Bone is really popular, imagine us getting this and my brain explodes. Like, I don't even know how that would work, because then we would have to, you know, say goodbye to certain characters because it doesn't follow all the characters. I would be fine. I thought that this was just so solid because so many pieces came together from the different series, and like the hint in the end for what to come in the Grisha-verse, I cannot deal. Okay, so you need to read the other ones to read this. To appreciate this, it's like MCU, you need to watch the other Avengers movies, so watch the later Avengers movies to appreciate the later Avengers movies. You have to do it, but it's so worth it, okay? And now I'm just so excited for the future for the Grisha-verse. And that's it. And then of course I read Wars of Radiance. I have a whole reading vlog up on my channel where you can see me read this, and it was of course 5 stars, because what else can I give to this masterpiece? I have it in 2 parts, but yeah. It's the 2nd book in the Stolen Archive. What even to tell you what it's about? I don't even know. I can never explain this book. So like, yeah, they rediscovering magic in this one. It's definitely like setting the pieces up, and I just cannot read Oathbringer because I'm scared. It's just so good. The brain power, the world, the plot twists, the writing, the characters, the scope of this. I cannot speak to you enough. Like, I cannot even speak to you about this without like my brain actually exploding. And this book is hard for me to read because I want to read like 200 pages. Like, I shouldn't, but I've been doing it lately. And this makes it hard because it takes such a long time, and every time after I read this I was so tired, like I just wanted to lie down and sleep. It made me exhausted, which sounds really like bad, but it's not like a necessarily bad thing. I just feel like I need to think much more reading this. Like the other books I'm just reading and I'm suffering because like it hurts, like Rule of Wolf for example, it hurts, but my head doesn't literally want to like go into the ground and sleep. This does. So whenever I'm reading this again, it's gonna go on audio because my brain was tired. I say that is a good sign, but it's just such a massive thing. You need to concentrate. But like, of course, I need to concentrate while reading. I don't know how to describe it. My brain clearly used more brain power though reading this. But it was a worth ride. I don't know, I'm babbling. So yeah, just know I love this. And that's it for the things I loved. And what else have I done? I have played a lot of Valorant lately. Like, my friends just became Valorant mains. That means that I became a Valorant main. We've just been playing intense. Like, I said it, I think in my last favorites. But like, it's been a lot more in April. Like, I played like every day and I haven't played a game in every day for a really long time. And it's been a ride. I'm still super bad, but it's a lot of fun and we are just playing. Right now, as I'm filming this, which is like in the beginning of May, I'm trying to get Killjoy and it's so hard to unlock a champion. I want her and I hope I like her. So if I remember, update in my May favorites, but I might not be playing as much then, who knows. If I like her, because I don't, I will cry. What else to mention? I think that's it. Like, I think I talked about actually a lot of things in this compared to like other favorites. So this is gonna be a longer video and I don't want to add it, but here we go. If I was rich, I would pay people out of my videos because I don't want to listen to myself talk and say all this again. I'm already listening to myself now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a wolf emoji down below if you like this. You will see me soon in a new video. And goodbye.